Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Jamin's Daily. Let's jump right into it with some current events. So, Mexico's President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, also known as AMLO, AMLO, I guess, had a statue erected of himself in Atlacomulco. I'm not from there, okay, guys? So I'm just reading this. Atlacomulco, which, for those who are not really experts in Mexican politics, apparently this town is a stronghold of a political party that is not the political party that AMLO is affiliated with. It's actually a stronghold of the PRI political party, and Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador is part of the Morena party movement, guys. So, you can guess what happened. They erected a statue of him. 2 days later, vandalized, demolished, destroyed. You can't even erect a statue without it being defaced nowadays. And this, I feel like, this is a hot topic, controversial topic about statues, bringing down statues. I feel like perhaps statues of people, I prefer statues of the abstract, perhaps, or of the non-fiction. I think that's a better way of, instead of real people, because then you have to look at it. Who would have thunk that 100 years later after a statue is there, that's probably going to be par for the course. People who are okay now, you build a statue of them, 100 years from now, things completely change. You have to bring their statue down. So, I'm an advocate for the no statue movement. There's no more statues of people. Let's just statues of other things. No more monuments and statues of people. And I think that's a wise decision. Moving along to a very interesting topic regarding college football. But this is really not X's and O's scores or highlights, folks. This is about changes within eligibility for the players. So there's this new thing. Only been around for a year or two, called the transfer portal. There was a time in which if you were on scholarship at one school and you left for another school, you would have to be ineligible for a year. The team that you were playing for had all kinds of ways and abilities to stop you from going to specific places and things like that. They changed all of that. So now players can just leave. And at the University of Hawaii, there's a football coach named Todd Graham. He's been around. He's a known commodity. I guess, I don't know him. I don't know if he's a great coach, but he's had several jobs. And he's had varying degrees of success. Well, he had like a player mutiny. The players were calling him out, saying he was a terrible guy, mean-spirited. All kinds of accusations were out there. And so you had 12 players enter the transfer portal, which is a lot, probably, I guess. I don't know what's the highest numbers. That may not even be the most from one school. But the thing is, imagine losing 12 players. So 12 players leave, many of which were starters. Then we come to find out his own son, who wasn't on scholarship, but his own son entered the transfer portal. So even his own son is leaving the team. That's a pretty low blow when your own son is jumping ship as well. So, if you have an opinion on this, guys, if you know a little bit about football, or the NIL, which is the name, image, and likeness, is another rule change that's going on in college football, in which players now can make money. It's completely changing the dynamic of the game, how it's even played to a degree in college football. If you have an opinion, send me an email, jaminsdaily@gmail.com. Guys, when we get back from the break, we're going to get into something that I'm going to focus on 2022. This is part of the New Year's resolution. It's probably something that I'll talk about in our previous episode. I think we were talking about the resolutions and how we're going to have resolution updates, New Year resolution updates for 2022. This will be a good time also to mention what we're going to go into, which is having a minimalist, more of a minimalist way of life philosophy. I can get into it when we get back, though. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. And we're back from the break, folks. Looking to 2022. I am personally gonna take on the philosophy of minimalism, trying to reevaluate the things that I have, the things that I spend my time on, the things I spend my money on, the things that consume my thoughts. All these things can work into the minimalist mindset. And this all came about really doing show prep. And I read up on an article on this, because this isn't anything new. Actually, it just reignited a flame in which I was like, this is what I need. And I want to give some props and a shout out to one of my best friends, Daniel Gonzalez, because he implemented this, and I don't know how it's been effective. I don't know how much he did, and this is really the reason for some of his success, but I do know he had mentioned minimalism to me years ago. Okay, years. Traded in his nice car, bought a smaller car, was living in a modest home, all these different things, talking about we don't need all these earthly possessions. When I was talking about Christmas, and how I was somewhat annoyed and unsatisfied with the fact that it was chaos, we just have too many presents. What a great problem to have, right? Well, I want to be a minimalist. I don't need 10 presents, I need one good one. So we're going to try to incorporate minimalism into the regiment, into the routine. So our routine will be a minimalist routine, perhaps. We don't need all the fluff, all the extra steps. Keep it simple, stupid is what we're going to do. Part of minimalism would be to declutter. Feel like growing up in my household, there was always a lot of stuff. My mom liked to keep a lot of stuff. So I feel like I don't have a lot of things, or I don't cling to things. But I'm as guilty as anybody else, in the sense that I like things. I want to buy certain things that are materialistic, that perhaps don't fall in line with a minimalist mindset. So we're going to work them in, have some updates with you folks at home when it comes to the New Year's resolution updates. We'll talk about minimalism. Now, this is working out within the whole overall resolutions for the year, like getting healthy, waking up early, etc., etc. So, if you have any interest or any input regarding minimalism, please send me an email at jaminsdaily@gmail.com. Can't wait to give you the updates of how this is changing my life, folks. You're going to see it changes right before your very eyes. I'm going to talk about it. Maybe this will catch on. Hope that's the case. Hope that's the case, guys. So until then, I'm going to wrap it up. Short and sweet. Till the next time, stick with us, because the best is yet to come.